Hello everyone, I'm Julia Austin, the Violence Prevention Coordinator and Advocate for Hands of Hope Resource Center in Todd and Morrison County. You can find us on our social media sites, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, our blog, and YouTube to connect with us. All can be found simply by searching Hands of Hope Resource Center or going to the description below to find the links. You can also find us at our website, handsofhope.net. We are going to now jump right into our topic for the day, which is changing cultural and social norms that support violence. Cultural and social norms are highly influential in shaping individuals' behaviors, including the use of violence. Norms can protect against violence, but they can also support and encourage it too. Moving forward, we will understand and identify more in-depth cultural and social norms that support different types of violence. So let's get started. As we take a look at cultural and social norms, we see that they do not necessarily correspond with an individual's attitudes, whether it be positive or negative towards an object, person, or idea, although they may influence these attitudes and beliefs if norms become internalized. Cultural and social norms also vary widely. Different cultural and social norms support different types of violence also. For instance, traditional beliefs that men have a right to control or discipline women through physical means makes women vulnerable to violence by intimate partner violence and sexual abuse and more. Equally, cultural acceptance of violence, including sexual violence as a private affair, hinders outside interventions and preventions, affection from speaking out and gaining support, which is why it is important to address these issues to change the stigmatization and help those victims and survivors of these types of violence. First cultural and social norms supporting different types of violence that we're going to be discussing today is first child maltreatment. So here are a few bullet points about what across the world different types of cultural and social norms that support violence. So first we have female children are always valued less in society than males, where female children are considered to have less social and economic potential. A second one is children have a low status in society and within the family. And then the third one is the physical punishment is an acceptable or normal part of, disciplining or rearing a child. And then the final one is communities adhere to harmful traditional cultural practices such as genital mutilation. The second type that we're going to be talking about today is intimate partner violence. A few bullet points to follow this one is a man has a right to assert power over a woman and is socially superior. A man has a right to correct or discipline female behavior. A woman has freedom or doesn't have freedom, and it should be restricted. Physical violence is an acceptable way to resolve conflict within a relationship, and a woman is responsible for making a marriage work. The third type is suicide and self-harm. A few bullet points following this would be mental health problems are embarrassing and shameful, deterring individuals from seeking help. And then a second one would be individuals in different social groups within society are not tolerated, such as, for an example, like homosexuals. Fourth type of cultural and social norm violence would be sexual violence. This is when a man thinks he has the right in a marriage over sex or any kind of intimate relationship. Also, girls are responsible for controlling a man's sexual urges. Sexual violence is an acceptable way of putting females in their place or in punishing them. Sexual activity, including rape, is a marker for masculinity. Sex and sexuality are taboo subjects. And finally, sexual violence, such as rape, is shameful for victims, which prevents disclosure. The fifth type of violence that we're going to be talking about today is youth violence. This could be when youth feel like reporting violence or bullying is unacceptable, or violence is an acceptable way of resolving any kind of conflict that may arise. The final type of violence that we're going to be talking about today that relates to cultural and social norms is community violence. Cultural intolerance, intense dislike and stereotyping of different groups within society, nationalities, ethnicities, homosexuals can contribute to violent or aggressive behaviors towards them. These are all different types of community violence that we may see in our society. Let us all come together to educate ourselves more on how violent behavior is strongly influenced by cultural and social norms. So efforts to prevent violence must consider how social pressures and expectations influence individual behaviors. Interventions, the attempts to alter cultural and social norms to prevent violence, are among the most widespread and prominent right now. Thank you all for watching, and feel free to check out all of our social media accounts down below. We would love to support, connect, and collaborate with each and every one of you. Have a great day.